Welcome, kayak anglers. You are tuning into the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network, kayak fishing's best network of shows with great hosts covering all things kayak fishing, bringing you special guests covering topics such as shore fishing, river trips, gear reviews, angler profiles, tournament news, and more. Sit back, relax. Let's do this.
Hey guys, welcome to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. I'm John Rapp with the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast. It's been a while since I've been with you. A lot of life things going on. But let's get tonight's show kicked off right now.
Welcome to the Rusty Hook Podcast. Presented by Feelfree Kayaks. Paddle, pedal, or power. There's something for everyone. DuBro Fishing. American-made marine applications and soft plastics. Ace Adventure Resort. West Virginia's go-to outdoor recreation destination. Big Lake Bait Company. Texas's #1 custom bait maker. Raw and unfiltered. Streaming on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and X. Bringing you gear reviews and candid interviews from the industry's best. Angler profiles, tournament news, and more, as well as legendary knowledge from kayak fishing's best. So, grab that cold drink, pull up a chair, and get settled in. Now here's John Rapp.
Yeah, good to be back. Man, I tell you what, it's been a long 2 months since I've been on the air with you guys, and I'm glad to be here. This show's pre-recorded because, as trying to get some content up and get you guys caught up on what's been going on. So we all have seen some devastation in our lives, and recently just lost my father-in-law, Larry, best dad. That was pretty much the last podcast that I put up, was a quick information on disabled veterans on how to get your fishing license for the state of West Virginia. So there was some information that I'd been given that I wanted to pass along to any other veterans out there who were trying to possibly look into it. The key to what happened for me was my 100% disability rating. That was what I needed to get my West Virginia license, hunting and fishing license for the rest of my life. But one of the things that I had been told is that I could hunt and fish based on my rating anywhere in the nation for free. That's not true. You have to be a resident of that state, and there's no non-resident requirement for disabled veterans to get their license in those states for free. So, travel as much as I do, fishing around the eastern seaboard, I looked into it. I called North Carolina, and go check out that last video that I put up regarding veterans and how to and what to learn about getting a license. When I put that video up, it was a somber moment because Beth's dad had just passed away the day before, and we were trying to get arrangements done and get videos done. I was working on video of Larry's life and things like that. So I was trying to get back down to Charleston and get all it done. And if you hear a little cat, it's my wounded buddy Key down here underneath me. He's been fighting. He's got a sore hip, but he wants to go outside, and I won't let him. So go on. Yeah. So after that, and it's been a couple months, right? I needed to get some time off and get out of here. Go on, honey. And I made a trip to Santee Cooper with my buddy Jack Gillespie, Doug Gano, and Barry Hudnall. There's been a long, ongoing tradition from all of these guys to make trips to Santee Cooper. They do it every year. Been doing it for over 20 years. I've been going with them the last 15, but unfortunately 16 years. I hadn't been down in quite a long time with this group of men to that location. So I got invited to go, that they were going. I said, yeah, let's go. So I'm going to pop up and show you some pictures of our trip down there that I made a post back about a month ago. Add these to the stage here. And there's a night shot from Black's Camp. Beautiful shot. That's actually during that lunar moon phase that we had down there last month. And I went out to capture that. But we had a pretty good trip. It wasn't kayak fishing. We were on Jack's big boat. He's got a nice 21 footer that we've been fishing on for years. You know, that's the one thing I have to say. You know, one thing that you just time flies. You know, I'm 59 years old. It seems like Jack just bought that boat. That boat's already 13 years old, and I can remember the date or the year that he bought it, going out with him on it, and it's just crazy. Now it's a 13-year-old boat, and things like that. You know, just crazy. But I want to show you some of the pictures from that trip. It was a good trip. I enjoyed it. It was much needed to get away. Yeah, honey. No, you're not going outside. No, not going outside. Daddy said not going outside. So that's the crew there in our cabin, and a bunch of old geezers. The left is Barry Hudnall. Middle is Doug Gannot, and that's Jack Gillespie. A lot of the kayak anglers will know Jack. But just a couple of the fish here that we caught down there. They were not on beds at that time. And that was a good drink right there, boys. That was that was our best fish of the boat. We caught a 6.5 pound fish, and there's a good look of it there. It put on a good fight. He didn't horse it in because it was out there in that stump field. So he had to work hard there. That was my best fish. It was just a little over 4 pounds. Another good one Jack caught. And we caught some trash fish out there too. He caught that mudfin. And you can see how stained that water is, because when we got down there, the water was very, very stained. The trip wasn't the greatest trip weather-wise. We had that moon phase that we had to deal with. It did not help the fishing. And on Tuesday, that area got like almost 2 inches of rain. So Wednesday was blowing out. That moon phase was Thursday. But we were able to find a little bit of clean water down around the hatchery. And this is where, on our way down, we stopped at Lake Norman and did a little fishing. We caught a couple of spotted bass. And, the trials and errors of when you're making those trips. So, we'll use this as an example here. One, make sure you check your tires and make sure they're in good shape. And then on top of that, your spare tire. So we got our tires fixed, and that was one half a day that we did. Jack took his trailer into town, and we got 2 brand new tires for the back side. And then after we changed his tire, kudos to Timo. Little Timo air pump, plugged it into the charger port, and he pumped up that spare tire. It was down to 35 pounds, and the recommended for riding on that boat is 60. So it took about 20 minutes, but that little pump got her pumped up. So, but there's that 6.5 pound fish that we didn't have a catch board out there, but we did have his golden rule, and it was a 23-inch fish. So we stopped over, and you saw that drink earlier. We went to a little place that we always would go to on wing night right there next to Black's Camp, and hit that little place. And we all had some good wings for after a day out on the water. So, but that was that trip. It was a good trip. Enjoyed it, and needed it. So, the catch, the thing that we were doing down there, for you folks that like to go or are planning on making a trip down to Santee, they're on beds now. They're probably moving in second or third wave of beds down there. But we were throwing, our secret is June bug, the June bug color. It worked really well. Green pumpkin. But I was throwing them Texas rig, didn't have a lot of luck, and then I caught a few fish. And what we were doing, we were, like I said, they weren't on beds, and we weren't catching a lot of fish. We caught maybe 7 to 10 fish each day per person. Jack worked hard up front, working that trolling motor around stumps, but we were working the stump field, and what we just motor around stumps and fish around the stumps until we found a few fish. But the greatest thing, that big fish that Jack caught was right off the main area of where all the boats move, and as soon as you come into a cut, and we were he blind casted right up on a stump that he didn't see. We didn't see it until we went over that way to fish that area, and it was a big stump that he caught that fish off of. So worms, wacky rigged, Texas rigged, no weight. The water over in that area is between 2 to 5 feet. A lot of stumps. If you're looking for a place to fish, go look at that area down around Black's Camp. It's called the Hatchery. It's about 3 miles back toward off Black's Camp toward Monk's Corner. So, great place to fish. A lot of guys know about it, so I'm not telling any secrets. But go check it out. Yeah, honey. Yep. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
This is the Rusty Hook Podcast, supporting people and companies that support us. Feelfree Kayaks. Paddle, pedal, or power. Something for everyone. DuBro Fishing. Manufacturer of fishing and marine products for freshwater and saltwater anglers. Big Lake Bait Company. Texas's #1 custom soft plastics bait maker. And Ace Adventure Resort. West Virginia's #1 go-to outdoor destination with whitewater, zip lining. You're tuned in to the Rusty Hook Podcast. More than a podcast, but a way of life. From the biggest lakes to the smallest creeks, we are all things kayak fishing. Refresh that drink, turn up the volume, and feel the excitement. It's time for the second half of the show. Live, raw, and unfiltered. Now, let's join the one and only Big Daddy.
All right, we're back for the second half of the show. Not a long show, just wanted to get caught up with you guys and talk to you a little bit about what's been going on here. Just got back from making a trip down to Feelfree headquarters. And we all know about the floods that happened down in North Carolina back in September, the Hurricane Helene. Luckily for us, our new warehouse that we were in the process of moving to, from our old place at Swannanoa, which didn't get damaged, just a little bit of water. But the new place, man, I tell you, they got lucky down there. We did get water in that facility, that creek right over. When I got down there and got to see where it was at, I'm really surprised that there wasn't a whole lot more damage. It was down at Old Fort, and we all know Old Fort got really hammered. So basically, where the new HQ is just off that one creek, and I don't know the name of it, but it was just up above an area where it narrowed and then it spread out, and where it started spreading out, got wiped out. Further down, there was a gas station when I was down there. Hasn't reopened, and you can really see where they're doing a lot of cleanup. A lot of backhoes are down there reshaping the banks. So God bless you guys down there, and I hope you all continue to recover. But while I was down there, I was able to pick up my new Venom Big Fish 120 PDL. A couple years back in 1819, and 1819, I was using the Big Fish 120 when it came out. And it's a good boat. I like it. But what I like about this boat, this PDL, is, and I'm going to do a show on this for you guys when I get it worked up. It's still like that right now. It's back out in the garage. Just got it out of plastic. But as you can see, that's the Venom. They only made 200 of those, to my understanding. And you can see the bar there. Now, I did get in the mail last week. I did not get the pedal drive for this. The new boats have the side steering right here on the boat. This pedal helps with the pedal drive, but actually what it does, it operates the steering system on the back for the rudder. Well, these new boats, the new Big Fish that are out, have the 4-point bolt-in system in the back where you can directly mount your motor to the boat, so you don't have to go get a third-party accessory like a mounting plate from Yak Gadget or One Objective or whoever makes them to put on there on your track system so you can mount a boat. I don't have to worry about that. Like I have set up with my Moken, I can directly mount this to the boat. So I've got my NK80, NK300 mount that I'm going to put on this. This boat will be, I'll have it set up with the NK300. I can switch it. I got the NK180 as well. But that's the plan. I'm going to get it rigged up. And I just got in the mail yesterday my tracks from DuBro. I had Brian Schiller from DuBro custom cut length tracks for me. So I'll be taking off these tracks right here from the Feelfree tracks and putting the standard tracks on there. And they're longer. I got longer tracks. They'll come out to about right here. And I went down and worked with the folks from Ace Adventure Gear down in Fayetteville and placed an order for the orange black packs, the new black pack and the crates, the 13x13s. I got the short stack, and then I got a couple of the small ones. I can't think of their names. So I'm gonna put them on there, and then I also had him order me a couple of 32-inch long native the captain's bridge. So I'll have on my new boat, right along where this pedal drive system is where the commander's bridge will be, and I'll put my 2 hummingbirds on there, that just like I have set up for my Moken, and I'll transfer them back and forth. I had an extra transducer because I have the Mega Live 360. The 360. I don't know if it's the Live 360, but it's the one that spins. It's got the big honeycomb down at the bottom of it, and it sits down in the water and it spins in a 360 degree. So I'll have that on one screen, and then I'll have the standard on the other for speed, depth, temperature, and things like that. Tracking, so I can, if I get dark. And I have been gearing up for this build. I've got the wireless lighting system from I can't think of their name. Wow, drawing a blank. Out there that I'll put on the front and back of the boat, so I don't have to worry about so much wiring. Where I wired my Moken, but that's looking forward to that, and I will be sharing the build process with you guys as part of my next show. When I do that, I'll take some video out there, and I'm gonna show you. As you can, looks like, as you can tell, the studio's a little different. I've been doing a little bit of cleaning down here and rearranging. It's still a mess, but I I'm going to pop up my cam here, and I'm going to show you one of the things, that when, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, my father-in-law passed away. And so what I did, after, he was a Navy veteran. And, you guys know, every year here in November, I'll do a veteran salute. Well, I dug deep, got into Canva, and I built a video slideshow for Larry to play at his viewing. And we made arrangements with the folks down in Charleston, and they provided him with a military funeral. Got me to thinking, I've got a lot of military history in my life. So what I did, I went out and purchased something. And I'm going to stand up. My volume might not be great, but I'm going to walk over and show you the shadow box that I put together last week. I bought 2 of these that when I do pass, that each one of my boys will get. So these came out of a place out of Illinois, and if you can find them online. But I'm gonna walk over and show you this with my mobile phone. Anyway, appreciate you guys taking a few moments to hang out with me tonight. Beth and I will be out of town for the next week, so I won't be doing anything next week. Watch her for pictures. You'll figure out what we're doing. But and then I should be back for we got a big birthday celebration a couple weeks after that. Beth is going to turn a big number. It's a big birthday. So, and then looking forward to taking that boat that I'm building and giving it a good run. I'm going to take that girl down along with my Moken to the Kayak Adventure Series down at South Boston. The Feelfree guys are rolling. We're going to have just about all the guys from West Virginia down there, Virginia, North Carolina. We got 2 of our team members coming down from New York, and long distance trip from Minnesota is going to make the trip down to hang out with Drew Gregory and the guys for the Kayak Angler Series. Feelfree is helping sponsoring that, and a shout out to Roland and Feelfree for the Airbnb, and we're going to take the time to shoot some content for Feelfree while we're down there. And the airships have arrived. Praise the Lord. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically Feelfree introduced a hybrid kayak / inflatable. When I say kayak, I'm talking hard shell. And it is here. I'll tell you what, I'm going to see if I can pull up the Feelfree webpage for you. And we'll look at that. Let's see here. So I believe I'm going to go look at Joel. And he had one of them out. Joel is one of our reps on vacation. Right there we go. So you can see it's inside here around this bladder is a hard kayak shell, and it comes in two pieces that you can connect together. And as you can see right here at the front, it comes with a pedal drive. So it's going to be a pretty sweet little boat. It took them a couple years to get the right company to do the bladder the way that we needed it done, because you want it done to be tough enough for people who fish, go out and fish and not worry about a hook or anything like that going to it. But they're 10 footers, and you can see Joel's just kicking off here really good on it. But that's the airship. It's out. It's available. If you're looking for something new, take a look at it. See what you think. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching the show tonight. And I want to touch base on something else. You know, when I was in South Carolina and we were fishing, that was the week when we left that Saturday morning. Was the same day. It was foggy, little over. Sun hadn't come out, and each morning it took till like 9 o'clock to burn off that morning fog and stuff from all that previous rain and moisture. But that morning was particularly a little cooler, so it was a foggier morning, and that was the morning that vibe that we all saw come up missing, that somebody found out in the water, where the gentleman from down that way was found the next day underwater, passed away. We haven't heard anything about what happened there, but all I do know is the gentleman wasn't wearing his PFD. Could have things changed or been different for him if he was wearing his PFD? Hard to tell. But we also have seen the same situation recently with the face of Bassmaster, with Steve Owen, who was out in rough water in Tennessee just a couple days ago. And he pretty much documented the whole thing. You can go look at his page, see it. But he was out, got flipped from his kayak in rough water, and was able to get back to the shore, get help. Looked like he got somebody with a John boat that went out and helped him recover most of his equipment and his boat and drag it back to land. But he was wearing his PFD. So, as we've always preached here on the Paddle and Fin Network and all the shows here, your life is more important than your equipment. People love you out there. Take the time to think more about you and your safety, but think about the people who love you and want to make sure they see you when you come home later that night. So wear your PFD, always be safe, and be blessed. Thank you again for taking a few moments to hang out with me. I will not be on the air next week, maybe even the following week, but I'll try to get some video up here in real time soon. In between then, do some recording. Definitely want to have that build for the big fish up. So thank you again for spending the evening with me. Be blessed, stay safe, tight lines, and always wear your PFD.
Thank you for tuning in to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget, for future shows, like, follow, share, and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you check out our individual channels and accounts too. Want to be a guest on one of our shows and talk of adventures, gear, or products? Contact us. Thank you for watching The Noob Show with Matt Gibson, Chasing the Tide with Dustin Nichols, The Rusty Hook with John Rapp, The River Run with Adam Fraser Pross, May Contain Fishing with Daniel Woodcock. Chasing the 20s with Carlisle Esterly and Sean Lavery. Friday Night Bites with Brian Schiller. Thanks for tuning into the Paddle and Fin Network. Subscribe and always wear your PFD. Thank you for tuning in to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget, for future shows, like, follow, share, and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you check out our individual channels and accounts too. Want to be a guest on one of our shows and talk of adventures, gear, or products? Contact us. Thank you for watching The Noob Show with Matt Gibson, Chasing the Tide, Dustin Nichols, The Rusty Hook with John Rapp, The River Run with Adam Fraser Pross, May Contain Fishing with Daniel Woodcock, Chasing the 20s with Carlisle Esterly and Sean Lavery, Friday Night Bites with Brian Schiller. Thanks for tuning into the Paddle and Fin Network. Subscribe and always wear your PFD.